Bam, dude. What's up,
Yeah.
Josh? How you been, dude? Can you hear?
Doing
I don't
good.
really
Doing
think you
good.
can hear.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Bad connection in the federal pin.
Yeah.
So,
What's up, Josh?
yeah, is he, dude? So we brought
What about me?
Josh back on the show, dude. I mean, what's
What
up?
about me?
Fly? We know it's you. We know you're here. You have obligations. You know, it's hard to get a hot commodity like Josh on the show. You know,
It's
Yeah.
true.
Okay. Okay.
you know he's out there. You know,
So-
he's the official, representative of Diddy. You know, Diddy Imports.
So
he's running
what
that whole
we were told
empire.
before the show was that we had to have our Illuminati representative and CIA handler back on the show to spread some more misinformation. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Josh to the show.
This is it, dude.
Glad to be here.
The man, the myth, the legend, right, dude? Oh my God! Here we go. Here we go. See what you did? You see what you did? You got Spicy throwing up his little gang signs and stuff.
Gang signs? I like Egypt. What do you want?
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Shh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh,
my
is that
God.
is that a thing? Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
Well,
gonna
if it
get
gets us
emails.
views,
We're all gonna get emails here soon.
do I have to do it again?
Crystal.
Stream might just
Let
shut
me
down,
do-
you know.
Yeah, let me do this real quick. The views expressed on Fat and Spicy do not represent PNS Studios.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly.
There we go.
Oh man, dude. So have you been keeping up with the news lately, dude? Josh?
Which a lot of the news. What do you? Which
I try
news
not
are you
to,
referring
but
to?
shoot. Yeah, shoot. Let me hear what you got.
I mean, what kind of news do you keep up with? Are you more into like the entertainment industry? You know, like what's going on with Lil Wayne being upset that he didn't perform. He's not going to perform in New Orleans at the halftime Super Bowl show.
I mean, I've heard about these things, but I don't really like follow up on them. But yeah, I've heard about them. I'm aware.
Yeah, and I mean it's
Who's
gotten
Lil
crazy.
Wayne?
Like the point. It's what happens when the sun doesn't, the little bit cloudy outside. You get a little bit of.
Are you serious,
not a lot.
Spicy? Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't. I've heard the name,
He's
but I
joking.
can't.
He's joking.
He's
He's
No.
joking.
joking. He knows.
I swear to you, I've heard the name. Of course,
He's
everybody's
totally
heard
pulling
like.
our leg right
You
now.
never
No.
want to lick the lollipop, dude.
Mm-mm. I am, dude. Do you know what I listen to in my kitchen? I listen to classic rock. I listen to a lot of '90s punk because that's just what I grew up on, and I listen to like Louis Prima and the Rat Pack, some of that Italian stuff. I love it. But like
So
the
you're
hip hop stuff, I don't care for. I'll go to the Humpty Dance, Digital Underground back in the day, but that's like that '90s rap. That newer R&B and hip hop, I don't get into.
Well, I mean, Lil Wayne's a '90s rapper, right? Wasn't he in the '90s, like in the
Is
late
he?
'90s,
No, he's 2000s. He's 2000s.
2000s. You sure?
Yeah. Bling
Yeah.
bling.
Yeah. See, by then, yeah. Okay. See, by 2000s, I was going back and revisiting Metallica 1983, Kill 'Em All.
Yeah, what Cash Money Records was out when I was in high school.
So, no, Lil Wayne released his debut solo studio album, "The Block Is Hot."
No, I don't want to hear
November
that. That when he got popular,
The Block Is Hot was a hot song.
Yeah, but when he got popular, it was the 2000s. That's when his
What's
run
the
was.
block? That's Jenny from the Block,
The
right?
Block Is Hot. No, what? No.
Used to have a little, now I have a lot.
I still think he's trolling us, but that's just me.
Jenny is.
That's just me.
But you don't know who Lil Wayne is.
Well, everybody knows who Jenny is. J-Lo. She's a meme. But no, Lil Wayne, I couldn't tell you what he looks like. I couldn't name one song. I'm not being rude. I'm not trolling. I don't know
I know the
that genre of music.
For a
It's just
fact
not
can
mine.
name a Lil Wayne, one Lil Wayne song.
What? What's his most famous song? Do you know, Josh?
Lick You Like a Lollipop.
What's the song?
I think that's what Jacob was saying. He was singing that earlier. Lick You Like a Lollipop.
Is that his? You think that's his biggest song? Is that Lil Wayne's biggest song?
No, I mean he's got a ton of them. Like Bling Bling, you could say is probably one of the biggest songs he's ever done. But that was when he was with Cash Money. So,
See, and Cash, I don't know who Cash Money is. I can't name 3 Tupac songs. I just can't.
So okay,
I know
so
California Love. I know
Lollipop and a Millie, which I didn't really like a Millie. I found it rather annoying. A Millie.
But yeah, all of those would have been from the 2000s, mid 2000s.
Yeah,
like 28, 2008, 2010, those kind of range.
Okay. That's surprising that you never have listened to Lil Wayne.
No,
I would assume Lil Wayne had a song that everybody could vibe with.
You know what's really funny? Everybody's talking about Diddy. I couldn't name a handful of his songs either, off the top of my head. I just don't. No.
I need a girl to ride. I need a girl to. You see what happened? You see what happens when you don't know your culture? We get one.
I can't help it. I don't know.
We get one shot at ethnic publicity, dude, and you ruin it because of your lack.
I can name all 3 of Metallica's bass players.
What does that got to do with it, dude? What does that got to do with anything?
That's my genre. That's the music I care about. I'm not a big hip hop guy. I'm just not.
Jeez, lucky he came back. Sorry, we're gonna get off the subject of Lil Wayne, Josh. We're not. You know what I'm saying? We know Spicy is, as vanilla as it gets. Okay.
It's the lighting. It makes me look pale.
There's nothing wrong. Hey, like I don't know a lot of people either, so I don't blame you. At the end of the day, it is a little odd, but I don't blame you.
But you know who
Now,
Lil Wayne is.
But you know who Lil Wayne is.
All right. So aside from that, basically, you know who Kendrick Lamar is? Spicy.
Yes. You ain't got to like it because the hood gonna love it. You know how I know him? You know how I know him?
GTA.
Yep.
That's
the only reason I know him.
I mean, it's fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, I get it. If Lil Wayne had a soundtrack on GTA 6,
look, to be fair, I have never listened to his music either, and I didn't even know him in GTA, so I don't know where you heard him in GTA. So,
but anyway, so Kendrick Lamar and Drake had this big old fallout with this big old beef, right? Controversy. Anyways, Kendrick bodied Drake, and so he's basically riding that wave of publicity and of fame, and he's already famous, but he's hot. He's a trending topic right now. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, the Super Bowl, obviously, they made him the headliner for the Super Bowl, for this year's Super Bowl, which is going to be in New Orleans. Consider New Orleans is Lil Wayne's hometown. And he's essentially, when you think of New Orleans rappers, first name that comes to mind is Lil Wayne and his crew.
See, it's all about recency bias, and Kendrick Lamar's just got the most recent, hottest track out. So that's what this is about. And he's got to accept that, it just comes with the territory.
But I think the craziest part is that Kendrick's actually getting death threats. That if he shows up in New Orleans, something bad.
Oh, shut up. See,
that's crazy.
This is where our world is just this whole thing where we have to resort to violence to get our point, or at least reference violence to get our point across. You can go suck one. I don't want to hear it from you guys.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that really lets you know what's up with the world.
Seriously. So anyway.
But yeah, that's that. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on with it. Other than that, Kanye's still being Kanye.
Yeah. Diddy's got his bail denied.
50 million, right?
I think it was. They said, no, we don't want your money. We want your blood.
Josh, if you were the judge, would you be tempted by 50 million?
Well,
you can make the personal decision, something like 50 million. Here you go.
Not for something this high profile. It's not going to end well. You're not going to get away with this,
Yeah.
If they're going after him, they're using, I think they're making an example out of him. I feel like, they've had kind of like a lot of bad stains with the whole Jeffrey Epstein kind of stuff. So I feel like they're like, well, we gotta restore confidence to the public and somehow. So people who are on that kind of time, they're rounding them up. So
you think that? Go ahead.
But
you go ahead.
What's easy? No, what's easy is the fact that they're just getting, like, it's not like they have to search for these people. Everyone knew Diddy was on that type of time. Like, who's like, even the casual people in the world knew this for years. Like the stuff about like R. Kelly, P. Diddy, even if you go back and you start looking at even was it the
heck that R.
Harvey
Kelly
Weinstein?
Video was
like these people, they've had reputations.
Yeah. So what is it? Let me ask you this: you have the money to put up $50 million bail, which means you have hundreds of millions. At what point are you like, I'm going to go do some nefarious shit? Why can't you enjoy your money? And if you're feeling groovy, go out and buy yourself a hooker if you have to, or go get married to a fine piece. But why are they always out here doing this nefarious shit? What is it about the rich people that they get this hype that they have to do this?
It's because they're all doing it. When people gotta like that's the thing that's hard for the general public to accept. Dude. They're all doing it. Like, look, they're all doing. I get that we're vilifying one particular name. We're making fun of this guy, and the diddler.
I'm asking in general,
but they're all doing it. So there is no. It's like you kind of got to.
So how many? So he wasn't the only one that has parties, right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah, this guy like.
Okay.
So this is
You know what I'm
this is
saying?
what blows my mind. It's like these people got to realize this guy's been doing this for years with prolific parties. Everyone in Hollywood's been going to him for years. Come
So
on
my
now.
thing, okay, so we can go back to Epstein with it. You know what I'm saying? The list, the Epstein list, the flight logs. Why is nobody else locked up? Why is nobody else in the news? Do you
That's
tell
a
me
good
he was the
question.
only one on the list? This whole list was just a list and one name on it. You know what I'm saying?
The evidence has got to be there.
It's
And those
it
What's
people
goes
fought
the
back.
like
holdup?
hell to ensure that their name didn't get released to the public. Like think about that logically, right? If you have nothing to be ashamed of, why are you even concerned that your name could be released? Like I get
Right.
it, publicity, but in the bad publicity and just being associated with it. But to me, if you're a stand-up type of person, you just make a quick statement and you unequivocally answer, "Hey, look, I didn't have nothing to do with this. I may have engaged with this person and known with them in a meeting or something like that, but you don't have to." It speaks to their
Yeah.
guilt, in my opinion. It speaks to a lot of people's guilt. And those names, the fact that they were redacted, and those people's lawyers fought hard to make sure that they stay redacted until obviously they leaked later on. Those names, there's tons of people in Hollywood who are associated with those people, and they're not the only ones who did this stuff. Yeah, like this guy he wasn't just networking with. Think about who he was networking: athletes, TV personalities, actors, politicians.
Politicians.
If that doesn't sound like straight up out of the Illuminati playbook, I don't know what then you are a person who can just see something happening in front of your eyes and just say, I see no evil kind of thing.
So do you think that more names will come out of this than out of the Epstein files?
No.
Or do you think any names will come out?
No, I think it's possible one could, but I think one of the biggest things is they like to keep this like minimized. They don't want
Yep.
the public to lose confidence in Hollywood as a whole, right? Because Hollywood is filming this for you to see, right? The television show, the news that you're watching, they're filming this, right? It's like they didn't cover the news anchors that were involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Those same news organizations are covering P. Diddy, but only to a limited scope, right? They're not going to
What's the
start
difference?
covering everything.
Is it because he's a black rapper that makes it
No,
more
no,
easy
no,
to
no.
vilify him in the media
It's this.
versus like
It's
Epstein, who's a
money.
No.
rich billionaire white guy?
Someone's not
I'm
paying their
asking.
Illuminati tax. Just that's all I got to
I'm
say.
just
Someone's
asking.
not paying their tax.
Okay.
So you
And
step out. You
sometimes
Fair enough.
people
step
get
out.
too ambitious. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Just fly too close to the sun, huh?
Well, they get a
Mhm.
little taste, and they're like, "Why?" Essentially, you say, "Why should I have to work for Fat and Spicy Show when I know all their tricks, I know everything they do for marketing, I know who they, how they get their ratings, what they got to do, the little tips and tricks. I picked up things along the way. Why do I got to work for them? I'm gonna start my own thing."
I'll give you an example, right? What Bill Cosby, everyone knows he was trying to own a network.
Mhm.
Everyone knows about Michael Jackson. He was trying to
Buy Sony,
buy back his own music. With he
Yeah.
owned the Beatles music, but he's trying to buy
but
back
he's
his
also
own
trying to
music. And
purchase Sony, wasn't he? It's something like
exactly, but he was getting
Mhm.
deep into the ownership of things, right? So it's always like a coincidence that these guys sometimes when you get a little power and you get a little wealth, all of a sudden maybe Diddy said to himself, maybe I want to own my own record label and distribution. That's not good, because then you're not paying anyone, you're not greasing anyone's wheels, you're getting a little too big. These corporations, I don't think anyone likes that kind of thing.
I always think in a sense that the world operates in a sense of almost like a food pyramid, the hierarchy. You have those that are at the top playing the game of Monopoly. Then you have the people on the board, you know? Then
Right.
you have the banker. Then you have, all these little places. But we're never, ever playing the game. We are essentially the very bottom. You know how in the Shark Tale he says there's well poo and then there's you. There's us at
Yeah.
the very bottom. We can't fathom the trades, the sales that go on at the top. Where we sell cars, we sell houses, we sell stocks and bonds. These people sell nations. These people sell, you know, everything and anything. So there's always going to be
So
somebody at the top. You can't tell me that you believe that at the very top it's nothing but air.
no. So what are you saying, that this P Diddy thing is to distract us from what's really going on at the top?
I don't think it's a distraction. I think it's more or less like Josh said in the beginning, an example to be made of. An example is, you know your place. You don't fly above the flight zone. This is a no-fly zone. You don't fly in here. And if you
But isn't it
do,
gonna?
guess what's gonna happen?
Aren't these ventures of his gonna make money? And then by making money, you're giving money back into the system, and you're making other people rich,
No,
What's the
right?
point of having money if he's in jail? He's
no,
locked up.
I'm
no.
talking about
It's
the
sort of
record
like
label
a
thing.
think of it like a record label thing, right? Like everyone loves you to have a deal. Like making good music is not the objective, right? It's about making it for someone else. And is even these big studios, even when I say, "Oh, I own my own I own my own record label." Yeah, but you don't actually own your own distribution, so it doesn't matter. Right? It's just I can own my own record label right now. There's a lot of small independent record labels. It means nothing. But the real money is in the distribution. The real money is in
Right.
within the corporate mediation between you and like iTunes or something like that with Apple. Those things, if you start trying to, when you start trying to cut people out because you think you're kind of smart and you're like, well, I know how business works and I know, well, I think that can ruffle some feathers. So
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that goes into
Fair enough.
consideration, and that's with anything though. Let's say you yourself were trying to be a head chef on a TV show, the spicy cooking show, and you're
Mm.
taking it. You're taking off. You don't think eventually you're going to butt heads with Gordon Ramsay?
He seemed. I don't know. I think.
But
I don't know.
you don't think you're going to get that big, and then you're not going to just, hey, what's up?
He's going to send his little army of sous chefs from all around the world to come slice me up.
Not necessarily that,
they
but
always do. They
you never
always
heard
do.
of celebrities being blackballed, or
Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
So if somebody's got enough pull to do that to end your career, and those are just mid-level people, you know.
Imagine what if it happens if you're fucking with the government
Look at cancel culture,
or the
for
big time
instance.
players.
Cancel culture shows what the people can do as a collective. When a group of people can all
That's
come
true.
together and do one thing, whether it's good or bad, cancel culture, in itself. But look what they can do. Look what they can do when they boycott. Look what they can do when they say no. We're going to give this person, if you put this person in your TV, blah blah blah, we're not going to deal with it. Why do you think they did not? Why do you think Disney canceled Johnny Depp before the trial was even over? Because
Just
the
because he
people
was.
said,
Yeah.
because the
Mm.
people said that they are against it. Johnny Depp essentially went from this to this overnight.
But they still
And
love
it was
him. He still
because
sells out.
now because he was
Well,
voted not guilty.
we live in a society where no one is innocent until proven guilty. Everyone is guilty.
That's true.
Yeah.
just by association with the crime.
Word of mouth.
And that's dangerous. That's a dangerous society to participate in. Right now, everyone right now has never met Diddy. Not everyone, but most people that are on this show and listening. No, none of us have met Diddy. And most people
No.
we know have never met Diddy. But most of them believe he is guilty. Right? That's the power of the media, right? You've never met the man, you don't know the man. You've seen snippets on YouTube. This is funny, it's this, we make jokes, we crack. But if someone was to crack jokes at us about stuff like this all the time, right, it would start to feel different, right? We would realize people are taking snippets of me and turning what I say. Like anyone, that can happen to anyone. Until it happens to you, uh, it really makes sense
because
then.
But isn't that the
in
price you
lesser
pay for
words,
living in the public eye?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like I don't want to.
let's say, okay,
There's things. Go ahead.
I guess it would come down if it happened to you. If all of a sudden one day somebody took something you said out of context and posted it on a cancel culture group. Now it's not just you. You think it's just going to be you that suffers for this. It's not you. It trickles down. It's your family. Your kids are getting bullied at school because, hey, your dad's a bigot, your dad's a racist. Your wife can't go to work. Now all of a sudden you're getting fired because your employment doesn't want anything to do with you. You can't get approved for bank loans because the bank's like, hey, look, hey, we've seen what you're about. We're not about that representation. We're gonna have to close your account. So you're getting black because of one idea that snowballed and the effect of the media, the effect of society and the thinking of, once I say it and the masses agree, that's all the facts we need. It's pure hearsay and he said, she said. And that's what Josh is saying is the scary part. Because we don't know. We don't know until the trial's over. Look how many people believe that Johnny Depp was the abusive one.
I never thought
You
so.
know? But look how many people did. You know, the man lost millions and millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? This is on a different scale. You got people that look at him different. You know what I'm saying? There's people that saying bad things about him, wishing bad things to him. You know, like I said, you know, you got to be a mentally strong person. You have to, you know, take away time off of social media just to even get through all this. You know, like I said,
I think
guess
social media in itself is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But I mean,
there's
with
people
social media, we wouldn't be
care
here.
for the substance of a thing, and then there's people who don't, right? People who are going to look a little deeper than the headline, and people who aren't, right? Sadly, the way the world is today, it's almost like it's conditioning society and culture to just look at the headlines, to just accept whatever narrative is at the surface level. Doesn't require you to do any legwork yourself, no homework yourself. Just look at that narrative that's being provided and go with that.
I'm guilty of it. I'll go outside my kitchen at work for a smoke break. I'll be standing out back, it's leaning against a brick wall, cigarette in one hand, phone in the other. And what am I doing? I'm scrolling the headlines. I'm not reading the story, seeing what was, and then going to the other side. I didn't have time for that. I'm on my lunch break. When I'm at home, it's different. But
The scary
I think
thing,
it's funny because, yeah,
the motivations behind those headlines and the motivation behind those articles, people don't realize. Like, who are you consuming? You're consuming a person's viewpoint, right? If Jacob and I were to write an article about the same thing, it'd be vastly different depending on our viewpoints, right? So that's the scary thing, is like, you got to realize, just because you're informed, you know, of
oh
what's
no,
being put on media doesn't mean you actually are gaining knowledge or, you know, insight.
that's the point I'm getting is that the headlines sometimes, because it's so quick and because I'm on break and I just want to consume some entertainment while I'm smoking and have to go back in the kitchen and cook for another 4 hours. The headlines are almost get absorbed quicker because they're so entertaining and fast fleeting that all you think is the headline from the source, because I don't have time to go look it up on the other news source and see what the other side is saying. When I'm
I
at
mean,
home, it's different. I can
it's
do all my
clickbait.
research, but at work, it seems like it just sucks in.
Because that's what we've been programmed to believe. That's what we've been
Of course.
programmed to think. That's what as facts. You know what I'm saying? We no longer have, or I would say, society as a whole, and a very few of us actually still have the ability to actually take the time out to read the facts, to pay attention, to actually read the article
Oh, I think we
within that
have the
caption.
time. I think that
But
our attention
I'm
span has
saying
gotten
takes
smaller because of
exactly. That's what
TikToks
I'm
and
saying. We don't have the time. People
no,
don't
we don't
have
make the
that time.
time.
Well, they don't want to make the time. So essentially,
They
it's
don't want
taken
to.
away. They don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So they lack
I
the ability of. So when you sit there and then 70% of billion people around the world look at one title and say Spicy's a raging lunatic. Now 70% of the people, it don't matter if it's 40% of a billion people,
right,
believe that you're a raging lunatic.
right.
And the bad thing about it is when you become a 40%er and you become a part of that people that believe, these are where you get your radicals. This is where you get your people that are looking for some kind of, you know, vengeance and vendetta. You know, these are the people that want to act and say, "Oh, I'm doing something for the greater good," because they're so easily led astray. They act on pure emotion because once they sit there and say, "Oh, Spicy meets with underage fan," regardless if you're meeting for a show, you know, in a signing, you know what I'm saying? You're just signing autographs. That's all you're doing. You could be at a school. You could be at elementary school, just meeting, reading a book. No,
Well,
Spicy.
we all know
You
that
know,
media can spin whatever story
but
they
as soon,
want to say
but as
whatever
soon as they
narrative
say
they
that,
need.
and
Yeah.
people look at it and they say, "Whoa, well, I didn't know," and then they, "Oh, I got to get back to work," or you know, "I got to do this." Take advantage of their lack of attention span of their busy schedule, whatever it is. It's still going to benefit the media. Now you're labeled as something. And now people are going to come after you off of just one title because nobody, and I go through it all the time. I see it through Facebook all the time. I'll sit there and look at an
It
article,
doesn't take much.
and
Yeah.
I'm telling you, go look at one of these clickbait things, dude, and just look at the comments first, and then go read the article.
Mm.
And it's
You
completely
can
different.
have a friend for years, right? Who knows you. who knows everything about you, and one wrong thing all of a sudden can make them think, it and it's like they don't rely on what they actually know about you. They'll just be like, "Oh,
That's
that's what
what's gonna
everyone else is
happen. They'll be
saying."
like, I'll be like,
Dude,
wow,
I've
I
seen
didn't
it.
even know. I've done the show with this guy for years. I never knew he was that kind of person. How am I doing in the media?
Listen,
Yeah.
Make sure you
I
follow
see
him.
it at the
Fence West.
bar. Thank you. I see it at the bar firsthand. I live in a small town and it's mostly Republican up here, very red. And somebody will walk in with a shirt that'll say like, Harris 2024. And all I can think to myself anymore is that's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it works for him because the hatred spews so quickly. They don't know the guy. They don't know that maybe he couldn't afford a shirt and that was the only shirt he had, or maybe his washing machine broke. It was the only clean shirt he got that he got from a rally that somebody gave him. I don't know. But instantly he's hated. That's just it's our society. Like you said, nobody's ever innocent until proven guilty anymore. And I'm seeing this more and more on the TikToks and stuff with these cops. And I'm the first one to be like, support law enforcement, dude, because if someone breaks in my home, I'm calling 911 and I want them here now.
But even
There's no
then,
grace
even
given. There's no grace given. You can't make a mistake. If you make even,
No.
people are always, like, even people probably watch the show, right? And are like, did he say that? Did he say that? They could focus. It's sort of like going to work, right? Those people who are like, your boss only pays attention to the negative things you do, but never gives you a kudos for the good things you do. That's kind of like life. It's like people, they don't care that you could be, 90 minutes of this conversation could be about something great. They'll remember that 2 minutes that they didn't
Yeah.
like the way you worded a thing. And then that's how they structure. And then they hold you to a standard that no one can achieve because no one can represent perfection. We all make mistakes. And sometimes we word things the way that maybe other people didn't get it. Maybe our humor is different or whatever. It's just we need to learn how to give each other grace, and just accept that, hey, maybe they didn't. I didn't understand what they were saying, but we don't
but
do
if,
that.
but even if you don't understand, even if you don't agree with something, that doesn't mean that you sit there and you're like, oh, the friendship's over. I can't believe you voted for Biden. It's the
You got to
dumbest
give
thing
it
that
time,
people.
Jacob, because it does mean that.
I mean,
I
that's what
mean,
I'm
it
saying. But I
happened.
don't. I would never
It
understand
happened
that.
in the bar I work at where somebody wore the hat, and the other dude turned to him and he's like, "I had a completely different way of thinking about you before now." And I'm in the kitchen listening to this. I'm like, "So how do you think about him now? Do you think he's an absolute piece of shit? You guys have had many beers together and had hours of conversations. He wore this shirt,
Exactly.
and you're like, I had a radically different vision of you now." I'm like, "Do you really, you cocksucker? That doesn't make any
But
sense to me."
again, that's that mindset. That's that sheep mindset where they feel like you know everyone feels personally attacked nowadays, and there's nothing wrong with them. And I tell them all the time. I treat them like a little kid. Are you hurt? Are you bleeding? You know, did you
Well,
lose some
people have
money?
so many silos they can run into now, right?
You know,
They can go into their own
Yeah,
little worlds with their own core group of friends, and it becomes like, like think of politics, right? Everyone who's on one side of the fence, they usually just follow that side. They don't even want to entertain or hear the other side.
yeah,
What does that really
yeah.
say about
True.
us? Right? Those
Very true.
people, and they think that they're mature, right? They that they're, oh yeah, this is like, there are so many people I've seen on there's a big Disney controversy, and there's a lot of people on different sides of the fence, and they'll just block entire community, block, 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 block. If you say, oh, I don't like this opinion, it's nothing negative in the opinion. It's not like they're saying
Right.
F you or this person's a blah, 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 or calling names or nothing derogatory. It's just because you don't agree with this, block, 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 block. It's like this is the kind of
So
world we're raising children and kids like this, and so of course they're gonna. This is how the world's gonna go.
let's dial it back just a hair and let's go back in time for a second and let's do a which is worse. The world we live in now, where you can have every single asshole's opinion on social media just fed to you on your own whim, and you can be compartmentalized, like you said, into your own view, or the 1940s where it's like extra extra, you pick up a paper or you turn on the TV and Walter Cronkite said it, that was the only opinion you had and that was the news. But who knows that the people that wrote the news back then didn't have fucking agendas? You know what I mean? You're still listening to an agenda. Well, what was better, hearing it from one person and making your own decision like
Hmm.
you did back then, but it was still only one person's opinion, or having everybody's opinion now and nobody knows what's what?
I still think it's the same. I personally don't see a difference in it. I feel like it's the same way. It's the same way whether it was one king saying it for the whole kingdom or one news station that controls multiple news outlets saying it for the whole of society. Again, you're going to have the whole of society that believes whatever they are just told to believe, and then you're going to have the small and the few who think outside the box, you know.
I think it's I could agree with that a little bit, Jacob. I do. But I actually think it's the latter. I think it's the abundance of choice, the options, the so much misinformation is far worse. Like, don't get me wrong, there was definitely misinformation at a limited scale, and you didn't have a lot of options to turn to, right? The Walter Cronkite of the, he was that was
Yeah,
it,
the
right?
big three, right?
But
Yeah, evening news.
but the there is a unique thing about mistakes. I tell this to people all the time in my line of work. I would rather make a choice, right? And know, oh, get to my mistake faster. So in other words, if you only have left or right, like think of it like a road, right? If you have a road and it splits off into a Y, right? It's a fork. You could go left or you could go right. Well, if you start going left and you don't see your destination for a while, logically you made the wrong turn and you should have went the other way, right?
Yeah.
Because there's only two options. You made the wrong one first, right? You heard the wrong misinformation first and you accepted it, but you got to immediately assess and recalculate. So that's what used to happen with our society back in the day. We would say, oh, this is not the course of society. We need to go this direction. But what's happened now is the abundance of choice. The illusion of choice has made us feel more like, oh, we've got more empowerment. It's actually to our detriment. I see this happen with a lot of people in relationships. They're like, "Oh, I've got all," like not to get like crazy red pill or something like that, but I'm just gonna kind of touch on this a
Well,
little bit.
please
I
do. We
see.
love it here.
Okay, so I see, young girls, right? 18, gorgeous, right? The whole world's their oyster. Guys just falling all over for them, right? Because they're at the peak of their beauty, right? And they've got all this choice, and it's an illusion because it's not forever. It's not going to last forever,
Right.
right? It's there and it is real. It's tangible now. But what happens is when people have that choice, they dismiss it, and they usually get a little cocky and play around with it. Now all of a sudden, they're pretty they're just kind of, oh, he's not good enough. Oh, he's not good enough. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And
Except
then what
for Martha
happens is
Stewart. She stayed pretty forever.
one day that time runs out and then it's no longer that way. We used to have, and the same thing happens for guys, right? You got these, you got a guy who's on cloud nine, all of a sudden he's making a lot of money, got a lot of wealth, got a lot of this, and he's got all these girls who want to be around him, right? But guess what? One day, if he doesn't have that money, then no one wants to be around you. So what we
Right.
do is we take choice and we miss so much because we think it's real. It's not. You really need to, and it would be better to have been that young girl or that young boy who grew up in that 1930s town with one person and not a whole lot of social media. If social media was around with our grandparents, most of us wouldn't even be born. Think about that. And we
That's
wouldn't
true.
even
Yeah.
have, they would have never met granddad, that one guy in the community,
Yeah.
because girls
Yeah.
today, they don't want to meet that guy in their local town. They're comparing that guy to the dude on Instagram, right? And then they've got 30 dating apps plugged in and they're swiping left on 50 people. Do you see what I'm saying? What happened? Choice
I,
is
Yeah.
not
I
always the
understand.
best thing.
So essentially, what you're working off in you're basically running off is the idea of long term allows for those at the top to perfect the overall agenda. They've got time where they can realize what mistakes they made in the past to perfect the recipe. So that's why the future now is worse because,
Well, yeah,
like you said,
right now it's worse because there's no way to correct it. Let's say the misinformation is so broad, people will be trying. If think of it this way, if you were trying to guess a multiple choice question on a test that you have no idea what the answer is, which is like what society does culturally with laws and things. If you're trying to guess, you don't know what the outcome is going to be, but you're trying to guess. If you have A, B, and C, right? Three, well, that's easy because once you try A and it fails, well, then I go to B, it fails. Well, I know what it is. But what happens if the multiple choice is 50 questions, 100 questions, 1,000? And culturally, that's what we've done. We've created a
And you've only
system
got 3
where
strikes, you're out.
exactly. And so what it's done is it's blinded everyone. And even the very few who can find the right answer, the too many other people are off chasing the other wrong answers, that they can't get behind those people and make a concerted effort to the right direction. So they're kind of like destroyed. So now you've got a hand at the top that can just keep adding choice, because no one turns down choice. No one does. Everyone loves choice. They think it's the best thing. If I tell you, well, do you want less choice or more choice? Well, everyone says I want more choice, but they don't realize that's actually going to hurt you
It's
long term.
complicating. You know what I'm saying? Like, you imagine if you go to get a steak and they ask you, you know, how do you want it cooked? Very well, medium well, small well, extra well, you know, slightly well. And then you go into the rares, you know, extra rare, medium rare, small rare,
Where are you getting your
very rare.
steaks made, man?
Exactly. Would you imagine that though? But you want options.
Yeah.
That's just complication.
Now, if you want to talk theoretical physics, according to molecular biology, free will is a myth.
But you know,
You just
when you
say
start looking at
biology.
I didn't mean molecular, but like quantum physics is what I was.
I haven't had enough of these with that. Okay.
No, not molecular biology, but quantum physics.
If you want
quantum physics says that we don't have free will.
Book of 2024, please.
No. I'm not quoting Scientology. I'm actually quoting
let's see what
the physics. But I was listening. It's interesting that you were talking about choice, and I heard something that says the other day, according to the laws of physics, we don't have free will.
Let's put that on the table real quick. Do you guys believe in fate, or do you believe that you have the right of choice?
Are you saying?
Do you believe that essentially
I don't believe it. I have
it fall as it should and as it's made to, or do you believe that you have the freedom to?
I don't know.
Weave through.
People are like,
you know.
All I have to say is this. Let me answer the question like this. People are like, I'm proud to be an American. I'm like, yeah, your parents fucked here, and so here you are. Great. That's the land you're on. Who cares?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Way to break it down, so.
But tell me that's not.
What about the people that are like 15% Cherokee or a 0.3% Cherokee?
Does that change the argument? Then they should be getting some of that casino money and shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. That's going to get us canceled. I should shut my mouth. I was just joking.
What's wrong?
I take no offense to that because I'm actually registered.
You get casino money?
2%.
No, it's a very, very small amount. Most don't. Like 99.
So you have to be. So only certain tribes actually can get that casino thing.
No,
right? It's not like
no.
It's
not only certain tribes, only certain families and certain names within those tribes. Because it's not equal. It depends on how it's apportioned. Because like it could be apportioned to a particular group. It could be apportioned to the entire tribe. And if it is apportioned to the entire tribe, most likely the entire tribe gets pennies, because I'm in that situation. I get nothing. Like, it's not even worth looking into it for me. But yeah.
So this is a racket. Yeah,
Yeah, he's got a little CD, little.
Anyway, let's not get off on all that. I don't want to. Let's not bring the.
But let's like I said, let's go back to the fate and the thing. What about you, Judge? What do you believe?
I gotta plead the fifth on this, only because it's complicated and I don't think we have a 60-hour segment. But I'll just say, I think it's very difficult to comprehend. I think we live in a binary world, and I hate to use this word because most people associate it with something else. But I think we live in a world where it's like, make it simple. Is it this or is it this? But in terms of that question particularly, I think the question is deeper than our brains can comprehend, because I feel at certain times there's a measure of both, but I don't want to go into it any further than that.
I can understand that.
I'll say this. I've had enough coincidences in my life to make me be like, you know what? Maybe everything happens as it should, because A turned to B, turned to C, and then D, which was the next outcome of all that, worked out really well. But B shouldn't have happened. Something fucked up happened, and B got turned into C, but then C turned into D, which was this amazing payoff. So is it coincidence? Is it fate? Or did I just happen to make the right roll of the dice that day and say, I'm going to turn left on this street instead of right to go to work because I want to go look at that billboard? And then all of a sudden my life changed. I don't know, man. That's a good question. I just don't. But like I said, according to quantum physics, since all particles exist past, present, and future, and are all interacting at the same time, they say that there is no such thing as free will. It's
So if you sit
all
there, if you take the time to learn how to make a watch, right?
Mhm.
You take the time to learn the craft and to know how to basically customize and make a watch yourself. You are setting that path to make a watch, right?
Mhm.
So what is inevitably going to happen when you go to make a watch? You're going to make a watch.
Yeah. But according to quantum physics, and we're talking about quantum particles, which also make us up, if the watch that you just made, or you made a watch here, at the exact same time you made that watch with no delay in information, no matter how far away, whether it's in the Andromeda galaxy, another exact duplicate watch was made. No delay. Not at the speed of light, but instantly. So did the guy
Real
on
quick,
did that watch on the other side decide to get made? Or did it just get made because you made it?
real
And
quick.
where's the free will on
We're
that
gonna
end?
take a moment to shout out Laws for her birthday, y'all.
Oh
Happy
shit,
birthday,
Lozzie,
Laws.
happy birthday! Sorry, I
We got
screamed.
the little banner up there. You know, the banner's up. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
Laws,
happy
Oh, did you?
birthday. Happy
Okay, cool.
birthday.
since you're here, you can hear us. Happy birthday, Laws. We hope you had an amazing birthday. I'm glad you got home
Oh,
safe.
you know she did.
Let's see. I think she's
Lo-
in the studio, right? Let's bring her in. Real
She had
quick.
sushi. Is she in here? Bring her in for a second. And then kick her the fuck back out so she can go enjoy her birthday.
What up?
What's
Happy
going
birthday,
on,
girthy
Laws?
girl.
What's
Happy
up? What's up?
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hi guys, how's it going?
We hope
Going.
you
Did you get
enjoy
your
Thank
sushi?
your
you.
birthday.
What? One
Here's to
question
you,
at a
right
time.
here.
I can't focus.
What?
Yes.
Okay, first question. Did you bring me my nigiri?
Yes.
Okay. Jacob, what was your question?
It's right here.
On a scale of 1 to
Spicy?
where are you at?
Like a 6.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's not bad.
No.
That's
I've been
not
on the
bad.
show drunker.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, you have?
Yeah.
We have not.
No, we
No,
have
I
not. No,
No,
we have
we
La la la
not.
la. I didn't hear that.
We have not.
We have not. No. I'm like a
We just-
6. I'm like a 6. It
Well,
was
that's
good.
Right on.
Well, that's good. It's always good to have a
Yeah.
nice little buzz.
Yeah.
I know, no. Welcome. Like I said, it's good to you drop by and stuff. We're just having lengthy conversations.
You guys
about
are
fate.
getting fucking serious over here.
Well, we
Yeah, I
are.
know, right? Yeah,
Killing my
that's all right.
buzz.
Well, you don't
just
want to
kidding.
kill your buzz.
No, it's good stuff. I haven't been able to focus really on it, but what I've heard of it, it's been good.
Well, then, like I said, we appreciate. What are you about to go do? You about to go stream?
I don't know. I might go watch some K-drama.
Oh, which one?
Boys Over Flowers.
I never heard of that. That sounds like something
Yeah.
Josh would watch.
Sounds like erotic fan fiction.
Sure.
Do
Yeah.
you watch K-drama? No, I don't really watch K-drama. This is actually the first time I've gotten into K-drama. And my friend was just like, "Hey, you want to watch some K-drama tonight?" And I said, "Sure." Like, I'm winding down. I got to work tomorrow at 8, so it's like 10:30 for me.
Well, you know,
Yeah, I have a
luck.
test.
Drink plenty of water.
Yeah. Well, I ordered some Indian food for tomorrow's lunch, and I'm waiting on it to arrive so I can have it for tomorrow lunch.
You know, I have yet to have Indian food. I've never had Indian food. People keep telling me that I'm missing out.
You've never
It's
had like
good.
good chicken tikka masala?
Yeah, you should have it.
Never had a
Josh,
curry
what's
ever?
Indian food taste like?
Mm.
Happiness.
It's different spices. It's like a different
Yeah.
spice, you know.
Well, from what they told me, it's not very different from Mexican food. So
Nah, it's
Nice.
different. It's different flavor.
Yeah, it's different spices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, what
I
about
dated
you?
this
You
guy
had
once from Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Kind of similar food types.
Goodness. Josh, do you have an
Josh?
Indian food place that you go to?
No, I'm not much into Indian food.
You
Really?
like Mexican food?
Are you
Yeah.
vegan?
No.
Oh, I thought you were a vegan for some
No,
reason.
he's not vegan. He likes women. What's wrong with you?
You're not into Indian food for real?
No.
Why? Is
I've
it
had
too
people.
spicy?
Yeah, I'm not huge into spicy food, so that
Well,
is
you can
a
get it
thing.
mild.
Yeah, but I just don't think it is good. Like I've had people bring me
Fair.
some,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, meh. It's not like
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about
Did you
like
ever try the what is that?
Thai
Is that
food?
Oh yeah, I eat Thai food,
Yeah.
100%. Thai food, I eat Thai food.
are you
What
big
were
into
you saying?
seafood?
Me, yeah,
You
yeah.
women, duh.
Love crabs. I love lobsters, shrimp,
Not for
stuff
your
like
women
that.
though, right?
The more, the better.
No. we're getting off topic. All right, Laws, we appreciate you stopping by, girl. Thank you.
Is this your
Happy
sign
birthday,
of saying
Lozzie.
you should go bye-bye now?
We
Yes.
gotta get back to the seriousness. We don't want to kill your
Wow.
buzz.
No, it's
I
cool.
mean,
It's cool. It's
if
cool.
you want to hang, you can hang, but it's gonna get serious again.
It's gonna get
Too serious. Yeah,
Yeah.
really serious.
No, it's good.
So-
You guys have a good stream. I just want to stop in and say hi. Tell you guys I
Happy
love
birthday again.
We
This
love you
one's
too,
for
baby. See you on
you,
Tuesday,
right
huh?
you. 40, y'all.
I know.
40.
You need to go get laid for your
$40.
birthday.
I'm not gonna get laid for my birthday because I'm in Mississippi.
It's TMI, guys. TMI. Let's think about it after the show. All right,
Just
Los.
a
Have a
little
great
much.
one.
See ya.
Happy birthday.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so back to fate, back to all this. Okay, obviously we all have our own opinions on on what's what, and we won't get into the religious side of that. We'll spare everybody that
No, we'll
extra
wait.
an
Yeah.
hour debate. But again, going back to
Just stay tuned for our
media,
new show,
social-
Jesus Talk with Josh. That'll be up in next week on PNS Studios.
I'm with you. Let's do it. But going back to the detriments of social media, the good, the bad, the overabundance of options, can social media, can it be rectified? Can we overcome it to where it is
No.
now? To the point it is now.
Not as presently constructed. I think one of the biggest things we got to get rid of if we ever want to do that is anonymity. Anonymity is one of the worst things that has happened to culture because it's allowed people to say what they want to say behind avatars, behind pseudonyms, and not have to be accountable for it. And because of that, people are encouraged. You would think that that's a good thing sometimes, but truthfully, it's more people that are encouraged to
To
say
do wrong, to say
literally
whatever, anything.
any and everything that comes to their mind.
Yep.
Like imagine a person, everyone knows that you're supposed to think before you speak. Now imagine people who don't need to. And by the
Yeah.
millions, it don't have no repercussions for what you say. In fact, I can, I can post something. If people don't like it and they want to ban me, I just go create another email and post it again. This is our society. So, and anonymity has its place. I believe it's important to have avenues for anonymity, when someone's trying to whistleblow, things like that. But what's
Mhm.
happened is there is, it's a free for all. So everyone can say
And
whatever they
I
want
think
to
the
say.
thing that gets me the most about anonymity is the fact that with that, not only do you have the people that actually feel that way, but then you have the people that just ride the wave of stupidity.
Of course. Right?
Like-
Bandwagon crew.
Yeah. So I'll go essentially, social media is open for everyone, anyone and everyone, even people with disability. But we've all been there. We've all seen the comments under those, the disabled videos. People think now that it is the norm, that it is society's right to just crack jokes all the time.
Oh, dude. How many times do you watch a video where some guy is just like, this is how I split wood in the morning, and he's got this cool new invention, right? And you look at the comments like, I'll split your wood. I bet this guy's a piece of shit. This guy's bald. He looked like an asshole. I'm like, what the fuck did he do to you? How is he
So it
affecting your life in any way?
So it becomes the point to say, like I said, you hide behind these avatars, you hide behind these fake profiles, these fake names, and then you go and you be this asshole. Why? Not because you personally feel that way, because I guarantee you don't have the balls or you don't have the tenacity to even go out to say that to somebody in your in real life.
The word you're searching for ultimately
clout
is
chasing.
accountability. Accountability.
Yes,
People want to run
yes.
from it. They do not want accountability. They want to be able to say what they want to say. See, like I'll give you an example. I think everyone should be able to say what they want to say. I do. I believe that 100% freedom of speech. The problem is I say what I want to say, but I also say it and I'm fully willing to be accountable for what I say,
Yeah.
right? I stand behind what I say. So you can call me out about it. I'm not going to be like, oh, I didn't say that or that wasn't me and hide behind something and run away. No, that was me. I said it. You don't like it. Oh, well, that's who I am, right? And I feel like every other person should be able to say what is on their mind and be able to speak freely. What I don't agree with is people who say whatever they want to say, but hide behind a veil. And that is what the anonymity is. And it is to create a lack of accountability. They do not want to be accountable for what they say. People who go off, like I even when I knew this was happening, even in the early 2000s, when I used to play Xbox Live on 360, this is a long time ago. You could not put a 360 on without hearing the N word every
Yeah.
2 minutes. It was
Yeah.
impossible to. And
I
then
know
so
those are
think of
brutal
it,
7-year-olds, aren't they?
but just think about this, right? So you're playing a game with the top number one game in the world, millions of people, and all you hear in every lobby is and sometimes just troll in. Then you
Yeah.
go in your regular life and you never hear it.
And you never
Now
hear it.
think about that. So what it teaches you is that these people they want to say it, but there's a lot of people who are emboldened to live out the utter filth of their life online because they're anonymous. And that really, but when I've gone my whole life, no one has ever said that to me. No one.
Yeah.
I can go online every day of my life and I'll hear it every day. People got to reconcile it. And it's not just that, because it's not about just race. It's about everything. It's not just the people who want to troll with the N-word. It's people who want to troll with fake news and fake this and fake that. They're doing so much and everyone's listening to them and giving them an ear, but it's usually not worth whatever they're saying because they don't want to be accountable for it.
The good old chat warriors, as we used to call them back in the day.
So, I don't know
So
if you ever watched this show like Black Mirror.
Oh yeah,
Ever seen Black
great
Mirror?
show, great
Yeah,
for
I've
fun.
seen
So Nosedive, where they actually everybody's rated off wealth. Their wealth is determined by the likes
Mhm.
and the rating.
That was the first episode, I think, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Do you think that would ever function?
it's functioning right now. There are influencers who, if they drop from 150,000 likes to 144,000 likes, they feel like they want to go unalive themselves, as they say on those social media platforms. It's self-worth now, and people care about you by how many likes you. If we could get our show up to the point where we had a certain amount of likes, then a new avenue of advertising and a new avenue of exposure opens up. So yes, a lot of people do find self-worth in likes, and I think that society is moving more and more that way. Absolutely. So why it's so popular? Why do you think every social media platform has an upvote or a like or a plus or something? Because that's the title of worth. It feeds the algorithm. It really
Yeah,
does.
that's true. Like I said, I mean, there's not much more to say about that. Essentially,
Speaking of the
I think
algorithm, I'm getting tired of the algorithm, dude. The minute I look up I looked up Elton John, sad songs say so much. I just heard somebody playing it in a car driving by. I was like, I haven't heard that song in a long time. Looked it up on YouTube. Every third song that comes up is an Elton John song now.
really.
I'm like,
Yeah, right.
why
It's
does the
crazy
algorithm
how
do
you
this to me?
how you build your own little algorithm for your stuff, right? Isn't that crazy how your stuff's tailored to you in particular?
Oh yeah. You and I could live the exact same life as twins and have two very different algorithms.
Get into the whole point where you just say pizza and all of a sudden you're getting pizza coupons in your email.
I'm not gonna lie. My buddy and I were joking about joke about plugs that go into your bum, you know what I mean? And both of us the next day were inundated with social media stuff like on our Facebook that was all about adult toys that we've never had before. A friend of mine was she's an author. Anyway, her name's Grace. she was showing me this Halloween costume she was making. She showed me a picture on Facebook of this corset that she was buying. Then all those little pop-up ads in the corner, those AdSense ads that pop up, were all about lingerie after that. It's like, because she showed me the picture doesn't mean I want to buy lingerie. Just I listened to one Elton John song doesn't mean that I'm a candle in the wind now,
Let me ask you a question. Do you
Yeah.
ever think, do you ever stop and think, or has it ever crossed your mind, even the idea of how much access you've given companies to your personal life?
Yeah, absolutely. Every purchase I make gets logged
Just
somewhere
by
into
not
somebody's
just by
database.
not reading the terms and conditions.
Well, of course. But guess what? That's the price you pay for living in this society. If you want to download songs on your phone, you're going to have to click I agree. And if you don't agree, you don't get songs. This is how it works. You want that app, you better click I agree to the terms. You're not going to be able to play Flappy Bird. You know what I'm saying? It's just
So
how it is. And if that's the price, I'm not going to hide from it. I'm a realist, right? Fine. If that's what I have to do to get songs on my phone, cool. I agree. I know I'm out there, but I'm also not doing anything nefarious.
What he said is so true. Is very true. People make concessions for things that aren't even in their best interest all the time. This is why I think on the last show with the whole Diddy thing, I said, and it may be a controversial take, but people sometimes put themselves willingly in bad situations, right? Right? People do this all the.
Yeah.
Let's not make it up, and everyone's
No,
just some victim
no.
that got chased and ran
No.
down and
Nope.
stabbed in the middle of dark and tripped over a rock. This is not everyone's case. Sometimes people make choices in their life and say, you know what? I really want this, so I'm going to do X. I'm going to make myself available. I'm going to put myself in this circumstance. And that happens.
So, but this is where it comes
Sometimes you
into-
can't help but let it happen.
So,
Go ahead.
are we truly living in the land of the free?
We never have. Nobody's ever free.
I'll tell you what.
They weren't free
I'll
back
tell you-
in the Stone Age days.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this. I believe you can be free, but you will, like society in itself, and we have grown so accustomed and so pampered with all the amenities that we have today, that's what like you said, that's the cost to play ball.
Yeah.
You want to be free? Good. You don't get no running water. You don't get a paycheck. You want to be free? You don't get no AC. You know what I'm saying? You don't get no
Right.
clean bottled water. You want to be free? You can't go to our doctors. You can't watch our TVs. You can't listen to our radios. No, but you can be free. You can be free. You can be as free as you can stand it. Let's put it that way, right?
Oh, I guess that's true. I guess and not being allowed or being allowed that access because you clicked I agree. It sounds like in Revelations, the mark of the beast, when they say you're not being able to buy food, you can't get along in society without clicking I agree. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what. In growing in the small town of Georgia, in the
real quick,
South,
let me just ask you this.
we have.
Okay, I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
is the mark of the beast really terms and conditions?
I'll tell you my idea on this. Essentially my theory. All right. People growing up in the South, there's always, real big on Baptist, big on Christianity, and which
The Bible Belt,
amazes
right?
me because some of the biggest racists go to church every Sunday. But hey,
Tell me.
that's beyond the point. But it's always, the end's coming. It's always this. It's always like, you got to be careful with the government. The government's gonna control you. One day they're gonna hurt you. need to start saving. You need to start doing all this. I'm like, and I look, and this is a simple thing I do. I was like, let me ask you a question. You got a job? It's like, you get a check every month. You got a job? Like, yeah, you get money every month. Yeah, I got it. How do you get that money? Direct deposit? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. When was the last time you physically got paid with cash for anything? So what do you have essentially? What do we have if not plastic that we deem valuable that has a number on it in a system that is run electronically?
Well, back when Alan Greenspan was the chairman of the Fed, he said, I can. This is when they were talking about retirement for military. They were like, "Hey, we want to make sure that they get a certain amount." He said, "Look, I can guarantee them any amount you want, but what I
Yep.
cannot guarantee them is its purchasing power.
It's
In other
gonna be
words, I can give them $100, but if we inflate the economy away,
they can't buy
or
shit with it.
deflate the economy, it may not be worth more than $1 in today's money, right?"
It's not even
And
that.
that's the important concept to understand about, like, yes, our money is going to not be
So what? Okay,
tangible
so
anymore.
what essentially? So let me ask you the question: what essentially is value in U.S. currency? What is that? The dollar, right?
Yeah,
So
but it's only
Is,
valuable
is,
because we
is that
give
but
it power.
is that where we're at though, right? We're at the
it's
dollar, right?
Yeah.
How
it's
many
confidence.
dollars do you have in your pocket?
What do you mean?
How many physical dollars do you have in your pocket right now?
I have a few.
4, I think. I
Brandon,
think I got like
I
$4 on me.
guarantee, you know what I'm saying, you only have a little bit. Enough to get you by, right? Josh probably has a
Well,
safe.
no, I have a
Josh probably has
safe.
a
I've got
safe, 100
100
grand
bucks
in
in
there,
there.
for a rainy day. See, I
I
told
ain't
you,
got no 100
you know.
grand, no.
But he thinks ahead. But but I'll tell
It's
you this:
not real. This
majority
is
of
not real. This is not real.
that's real. All right, put it down. That's
What
what
is
he
that?
wants
Oh,
to
That's a
that's
do.
a
million
fucking
dollar bill.
$100 million bill,
But
baby.
anyways,
I love that he keeps that in his wallet.
yeah.
No, it's on my
In case,
desk.
in case he gets
Oh,
robbed, he's like, ha ha, joke's on you. Wait till he gets
Yeah,
home.
I know, right?
All my cards are about to be shut off, and he's about to have $1 million. But I'll tell you this: the U.S. currency is essentially the dollar, right?
Yeah.
How many dollars are actually in rotation? I guarantee
Oh,
it's a whole lot less than it gets a whole lot less every year we go by. To essentially where we're not having to worry about the dollar because the dollar is a number that's on a computer.
but those dollars all still have to be backed. Those numbers all still have to be backed
Correct. They
by,
have to be backed.
which is why you have like the
They don't have to be
FDIC,
backed.
the federal.
Yeah.
There's no
Well,
backing. There's no backing.
there
There's no
was
backing.
back in the day when you had the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, but that's been disbanded since now, so you don't have any protection
Yeah,
for
that's
that
a
dollar bill.
long,
I
No,
long,
understand
long
that.
time ago when
no.
they cared about backing dollars and gold. But
Is
that's
he
long,
said,
long ago.
she
gone.
said, bullshit. That's what it is.
Well, I mean,
That
bottom line is,
the bad thing about it is
to
the
answer your
people
question, it's a piece of
don't
paper that we
understand
put value on.
But we don't even have that paper no more. It's becoming less and less, is what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Because it's not about the paper; it's
No.
about the confidence. It's all about
Exactly.
what
Exactly.
it's like
it's
a
about the
collective
confidence.
choice our culture
Yeah.
makes to
We all
rather than
said,
go to the
hey,
Stone Ages. We want to take that. We want to accept the way it is. That's how it is.
that's what it is. And that's
I
what
don't
it is.
know.
The idea of that we have all instilled. And that to me is what's crazy about it, is that people will know that. And most everybody doesn't. And the majority doesn't.
Everyone
is
knows that your
No.
bank loans out your dollar as soon as you drop it off.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this. Everyone
course,
knows what
yeah.
fractional reserve banking is. Every single person
Mhm.
knows that your loan is not guaranteed by anything. They don't actually have any money in banks. Everyone knows this. They've known this for years. Yet people still go to the ATM and deposit money. Still go to the ATM and pull out money. Still check their Chase account or their Bank of America.
But
Right?
if you
We
don't,
don't
you
care.
can't get by. But if you don't, you
Exactly.
can't get by. So you have to. It's the
You
mark
have
of
to
the
play
beast.
the game. Yeah.
again
You have to
No,
play the
I
game.
don't go that far, but it is definitely
I
to
know.
me.
That's me being dramatic.
But
Of
going
course.
again, you are as free as you can stand.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
true.
100%.
I
I
mean,
agree
yeah,
with
that's
what you're
true.
saying, Jacob.
Yeah.
Because if
So
you don't like, it's like this, right? If you don't like the rules, just go and play somewhere else. And
yeah,
and that's how it is in society in every aspect of it, right? If you don't like YouTube's rules, go on Rumble or whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't
Yeah.
like
Go,
United States, well, go to that country, right? And you'll
go to
see a
Canada.
lot of people. Yeah, you'll see a lot of people complaining. I see all the time people doing rallies, marching around with their sticks and their pickets. And it's usually college kids. I hate it to say it because they're gullible and they don't know much about the real world. But they do this. And the reality is, leave. Go and see what. And I'm not telling them to leave like threatening them. I'm saying go and experience the world.
experience the world and
Experience what's
see.
actually out there. That country that you're arguing for, go there and do what you're doing here. See, you have the freedom to express yourself here. You have the freedom to get out on the street and to go march and to carry your picket sign and to throw things at businesses and whatever. You have the freedom to go on YouTubes and everything. But you know that country that you're sitting up there saying, "Oh, there's blah blah." Go to that country and do that. And you know how they deal with you? They kill you,
They shoot you.
just like that.
That's it. You're done.
So are
Oh.
you saying we shouldn't have the right to protest?
No, I think we have. It's a blessing to be able to protest. But what
That's what
I
it-
find ironic, and I'm just gonna, if some group of people decide to protest for a country that will kill those very same people.
Okay,
Just
so
me.
protesting for a country, I don't ever. That's like protest.
Or
That's like
protest
tipping over
for
cars
a-
for a sports team.
Yeah, like it's like this, right? If I was running around protesting, imagine the idiocy. This is, I won't use the exact one, but this is happening right now in many cities. There are people who are protesting. And imagine if I was protesting, like, we need more freedom like North Korea. People would look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
But that's actually happening right now. I'm just not using
I
the
get
real
it.
countries and the real thing. But
I
that's
get it. So let
really
me ask you,
happening.
what is the fascination with the college students taking
They're gullible.
the views, like what you're talking? Well, is it gullible, or
They're
is
they're
it this is
gullible
my
and
time to
dumb.
be just a
Will
I'll just
rebel
be
and
real
I'm
with
going to
you.
take
They're
devil's advocate?
gullible and they're dumb. I used to think it was because that they just wanted to be proactive and active and saw themselves in it, bloviated their own self-worth in the world, the grand scheme of the world. But I've watched enough videos now where I actually think they're just not informed. They're actually pretty dumb. And I think we're the ones to blame. We created a society that's coddled them. And instead of teaching them how to learn information and sift through bad information, here's a word that has gone almost went disappeared from our lexicon, disappeared from our normal speak. Discernment. In other words, the ability to decide and make an informed decision off of what is correct, right? The ability to see the correct path. That is gone. There is no such. I don't even hear a kid say the word discern, and it's because they've never been taught to do it, right? And so when I see a lot of people, they make these little gotcha videos. I see guys our age in our generation going to these college campuses and showing, asking these little gotcha questions and showing how
Yeah.
stupid and ill-informed
Yeah.
our college kids is. They can tell you everything about Kim Kardashian, but can't tell you anything about anything else of substance, right? But the funny and the ironic thing is, we created that. We somehow built a society that raised that generation worse off than we were. And it's perpetually kept happening over time. We just keep raising worse and worse and worse. We are more interested in coddling them, telling them they're correct, no matter what their viewpoint is, than correcting them. Correcting them is bad. Coddling them and affirming their viewpoint is good. And when you have a society that's built like that, that's what you're going to get.
I am not happy with the state of the schooling in California. Now it's not a flex, and I'm not proud of it. But from kindergarten until I graduated high school, I went to Christian and Catholic schools. And I'm going to tell you, compared to what I see my kids coming home with and their education that they're getting, the public school system is fucked compared to the private school system. I had an education leaps and bounds. I was doing pre-algebra in the 7th grade. My daughter's in the 7th grade now, and they're learning how to divide and multiply fractions. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Now, her and I have done enough math, and we work together on this stuff that they want to move her into freshman math, which I'm like, fuck yeah, because she's, I teach my kids, but the school systems here, they don't even give homework. They're like, I asked the teacher that, I'm like, how come my kids never talk about how I asked them, do you have homework? No. I said, where's the homework? He says, did you ever learn anything from homework? Or did you just have anxiety coming home from school knowing that you had stuff to do? I'm like, it taught me discipline. I did my homework, I did my chores, and I had the rest of the night to do fuck all because I did my responsibilities. It wasn't about what you learned, it was a discipline in my life. My kids don't get homework. The minute they come home, they want to get on the Fortnite. And I'm like, no, 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 no. So they get home about 10 minutes before I do. I leave a fucking note on the TV every day. Here's your list of chores. I will check it off when I'm done. And if they're not done, I'm turning all the shit off. I'm not that mean about it, but you know what I mean? But the school systems these days is absolutely bullshit. What they're teaching these kids in school, I don't even know. And listen, I'm not arguing. I'm not. But for all the time, see, we live in I live in the Northern California coast. And we have a lot of Native American people here, which is great. I love them, and the Tolowa Indians are amazing. I have a couple of them that are very good friends. But there's a lot of time spent in school focused on that, and not as much on like history, science. You know, there was one of the schools.
Oh
They spent
man,
2 hours
I
a
rip
day on
into
this
that right
instead of.
now?
But you know, I don't know what. Am I
Look,
wrong?
this is something you will never hear said on television usually, and you'll never hear it said most places. But I'll take ownership. I'm accountable for what I say. This is not a fat and spicy viewpoint. This is a me, Josh viewpoint. So don't get mad at
Argue
them.
with
They
me.
just
Come
had
on,
me a guest.
give it to me.
They didn't know I was going to say this. Number one, I think race is a crock of crap. Okay. All it does is encourage people to segment themselves apart from the society as a whole and to keep finding ways to set themselves apart rather than incorporate themselves in. Right. If you go back, especially when you talk about Native Americans in particular, if you go back to the inception of Native Americans in this country, when we finally, the Trail of Tears and isolated them, what is the worst thing that happened to them? Is that they were isolated into their own reservations. I can speak on this because I have family members who've experienced this and seen this. Those reservations, if you go to them right now, are the most derelict places in this country. They are full of drugs and no future. And anyone who has lived there can speak to that. Now, if you were to fast forward, if you were to go back in time and say, well, don't you think it's a good thing that you get to be isolated? Wrong. It's never a good thing. It's the same thing that happened with the internet and China. Internet said, hey, we're going to be public and the world's going to consume us. The number one internet companies established here in the United States, China blocked it off. They blocked it. And they thought, oh, this is a good thing. They found out 10 years later, this was horrible. We are behind the curve. So they started to open up their country again because they realized blocking things like that are to the detriment of yourself. And we do this culturally. When people are sitting there and they're so proud to say, oh, I'm this and I'm on that, I'm this, I'm that, all that you're really doing is dividing yourself. I went to an HBCU, okay, because I'm 25% Native American, but that's from my mom's side, but my dad's black, right? My mom's white Native American, my dad's black. I went to an HBCU and I had a big argument with people online. No one said a word to me because I think that they know ultimately what I was saying was true. Those are the most underfunded schools. If you were to compare them to a PWI, which is a predominantly white institution, if you were to compare them, like you compare like a Grambling State, or a Winston-Salem State or something like that, Norfolk State, you compare that to, I don't know, Cal. You compare that to UC Berkeley. There's no comparison. The amount of money, the amount of funding, the quality of schooling and education you're going to get there. But what have those kids done by isolating themselves? And I went there. I'm speaking from real. I know that it's a trick that's played on you. It's a trick that's played on you to get you to be your own worst enemy by isolating yourself. Because what's really scary, and I sat down at a dinner table early in my career, and then we talk about race and all this stuff. And I told my bosses, I said, I looked at everyone's talking about race, and I said, no, I don't believe in race. And the reason why I don't believe in it is because I believe really, really, really racist people want you to think there is a difference between you and I, because their worst fear is that we're the same. What they really, really, really don't want to do is take a DNA test and realize what is what. How do you quantify something? What is the standard DNA for black? Someone
Okay,
tell
you're
me.
gonna have
Oh,
to
it
break it
doesn't
down for me
exist.
though, because I'm super confused how we went. I'm trying. I love you, but I'm trying to understand.
You were talking about people having too much race, like identity, and it's all about their race and all
No, no,
about
no,
this
no, no,
culture.
no, no, no. It's not that.
Oh,
What I was saying is that I just
maybe I
thought
went
that
off
there
on
was too
that.
much time spent. It's cool. I'm trying to put it together in my head so that we can tie it together into a decent conversation. Um, but what I'm saying is that because we live in this area, there was a lot of time spent on like the history of the area, Native American and whatnot, and less spent on just like general grammar and things that I think, and it's not wrong, I think, to learn about those people. But I think that if they lived in Portland or if they lived in New York, the time spent learning about that would have been spent learning about social studies or something else. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
I
I think
got
that
you.
the dumbing down of America by, well, the kids don't learn anything by doing homework. I'm like, bullshit. They learn discipline. They learn accountability. Dude, I feared my father coming home if my homework wasn't done. And
They're
I
like,
think that was a good thing. It gave me my work ethic.
yeah, I think the crazy part about it is now that we've seen a recent plummet in the years recently of high school graduates. So much that schools have actually started to lessen the criteria that's needed to graduate, just to
Don't
keep their
even
numbers up, just to save face. Is what's
started doing
crazy about
bullshit
it.
like that.
They're
Yeah.
not doing it for the benefit of the kids. They're doing it so they can say, "Look, our graduation rates are still up," but they're putting kids that are not even ready out into the world. But what is that? What does that show again? You know what I'm saying? Again, is it people that are too stubborn to sit there and say, "Hey, we messed up. Let's reevaluate the way we're doing this," or is it just saying, "Hey, it's all part of the plan. Don't worry."
No,
Look
I
at
think there's too many
colleges. They're
opinions on
not.
how you teach.
And
There's
look at
no,
college. They're not. They should, in my opinion, they should follow the jobs report. If the jobs in the country are going up, number of jobs, they should be allowed to increase enrollment. If the jobs are going down, they should have to constrict enrollment, making it tougher for you to apply and to get into college because they need fewer people. That's
be like
logical, right? That's logical.
be like a Federal
Just think
Reserve.
about that.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
But
club.
they
Like,
don't do
yeah.
that. They just keep adding more and more people. Why? Because there's money involved. As long as there's money, they're never going to constrict themselves.
Yeah.
They're never going to say, we want less of those $50,000 loans you keep throwing our way. We want less of that, by the way. No, they will keep giving you those loans, knowing that there's no jobs on the back end and you're screwed.
That's a good way to look at it, though. I mean, that's a good system to think about implementing. Is it basically
No, it's a good system to keep your students in debt.
You know what I'm saying? No,
And then
as
they
a
know the
job
general
sees
public
fits.
is too foolish to realize that when they go complain for a general bailout, as if the money's just going to vanish.
And where's the debt
No,
go?
it doesn't
Yeah,
vanish.
yeah.
No.
You find you know where it goes? It goes to that extra $5 in your grocery bill on your eggs, and then on your thing, and
Ma'am,
on this and that, and then in your gas. Then you realize it ain't free. Nothing's free. You can't vanish debt. I don't
Debt,
care
yeah.
how much you complain about it because
No,
you got some
no.
garbage degree. You cannot vanish debt.
And that's one of the things that people don't understand when the presidential candidates promise all these things about, oh, we're going to eliminate. What are you going to eliminate? There is
Pandering.
no such thing
Listen.
as eliminating.
I'm a Democrat.
anything.
I'm a hard Democrat. Go Kamala. That's me. I love that shit. And when Joe Biden said, I'm going to wipe out this debt, I'm like, bullshit. Somebody's got to pay for that. And it's going to be me. And it's going to be Fatsy. And it's going to be Josh down there. That's just the common sense of it. I may be a Democrat, but I can still see what the fuck's going on with my money.
Like, why
Give
should
them my
I
$1 million.
have? Yeah,
Give me $1 million.
why should I have to pay for the fact that you decided to major in
Art history?
No, have you seen the montage of those crazy degrees that people are majoring now? There's a
Dude,
montage out there on YouTube you can watch. It's crazy.
We talked on the show
really
that
crazy.
people can major in fucking Klingon.
I'm just like,
They've
what?
watered down the purpose of a degree to the point that
Yes.
hiring managers, it's almost like, it's not even worth what it
doesn't
was.
matter.
I think
it
people,
doesn't matter.
yeah, it
But
doesn't
listen,
It doesn't matter.
my wife works at a prison. She's a clinical psychologist. And even she said, she's like, I do more work than the doctors do. Not the medical doctors, but the psychological doctors. I do more work there than the psychological doctors, and they make 1.5 times more than I do. It's only because I don't have paper.
Yep.
I'm just as smart, just as educated. They didn't learn anything different to do this job because they use the same skill set that I use. So why is
that's
that
a
piece of
faulty
paper so
expectation,
valuable?
thinking that more work equates to more money, because there are kids right now digging in trash heaps in South America, working
I agree with that.
20-hour days and are making pennies. So
But what I'm
anyone who
telling,
thinks that
my point of
I
that
work harder,
is
I'm
that
going to
the
make more.
paper. No, my point was the paper is almost meaningless. And like you said, these bullshit degrees and forgiving the loans and all this stuff, like you said it right there. It's pandering. It's pandering for votes to the people that aren't
Yep.
educated enough to make an informed decision.
Yep. It's like
And
the
if you guys are gonna,
nuances of thing. Yeah.
if the audience is gonna take anything away from this whole conversation that we had, because there's three of us with three very different ideas on a lot of shit, is do your research, man. Look shit up. You know,
Yeah.
find the truth in between the lines. And
Yeah.
you and I were talking, Josh. I like to read BBC. You mentioned another one. I can't remember what it was. Like, go here for the real unadult. Was it you that and I were talking about that
Telegram
when
is
we
a
were
good.
playing?
Now, I'm not saying it's trustworthy. There's a difference. I'm saying there are some sources on Telegram that are raw and unfiltered and they're real. But just like any
Okay.
other social media thing, it can be abused, and there are
Mm.
people out there putting out misinformation all the time. So
Okay.
you have to make sure who you're pulling from is reputable and is worth listening to. But you
And
can definitely be
last
more
point.
informed on a thing. Yeah.
Last point. I just have to say this. We're ready. Telegram is not a sponsor of the Fat and Spacey Show.
By no means.
All right, let's continue.
By no means at all, guys.
Sorry
I
about
mean,
that, Fatsy. We went off on it, man. I love this shit. I love having these
I'm
conversations.
listening, dude. I love it. I love it. But
I
yeah,
feel like we left you out, buddy.
No, I was listening. I was just listening and soaking it up because I couldn't say anything because a lot of the views that I had were the same as Josh's.
Yeah.
Essentially, I was saying I'm right there with him. As far as is comes to terms and what should be done versus what is being done, and there's always going to be a hidden agenda that we're never going to be a part of. The same way that you have if you were to put the whole world on a play on a stage, we are the audience and we are watching a play, but we'll never see what really goes on behind the scenes. We'll never we'll never be able to lay eyes on the script.
Yeah, but when the actors throw a pie, the audience, us, takes it in the face. That's the only difference.
Yeah, I would argue and say we do see. We just don't care. And I'll say
we essentially see the script, we see the play. It's just so entertaining. Right?
Once again, I need you to think about this. This is us on a grand scale. I'm just using an example. R. Kelly had rumors about what he was about for a decade plus, 2 decades. Yeah. Okay. That never stopped groupies from following him. That never stopped fanboys from following him, from buying his music. That never stopped anyone. I need you to think about this logically, right? So expound that same mentality to bigger things like politics.
We
know
with R. Kelly,
how many rumors are going around with Illuminati and what these people are doing, and in the background, how many rumors are there? Pizzagates and all these. How many rumors are there? Who cares? That's what's happening in our culture.
Yeah, exactly. But so the thing with R. Kelly, and the thing with a lot of these, they let him go on, and I think, to me personally, I believe they let him dig their own hole. As deep as they're gonna let him build it. They always got something on you. Like essentially, they always gonna have something.
With P. Diddy.
So you go, yeah.
Hold on, before you say that, who woke up when they announced what P. Diddy did and was guilty of, and was like, who did that?
Yeah, not one person.
Who was like, oh, P. Diddy's guilty of this, and this, and whose reaction was like,
not Puffy.
That tells you everything you need to know.
You know who was like that?
Yeah,
the people that were at them parties.
Yeah.
They were like that.
They were like, "What? Wait, hold on, dude.
They got
the phone. I need a whole new phone."
In this day and age, though, when you're in the world of cameras that can fit into the fucking light socket, or you can strap a microphone on the back of a fly, don't you want to take some pause before you get dirty in some guy's mansion with whatever you're doing it with, whether it's animal or sheep or whatever?
Because
they all
aren't you worried
with each other? It's one big festival of the same kind of people.
You know what happens to the lottery winners, right?
Yeah, they go broke.
What happens to them? What do they typically do?
They buy a house and a car.
Hookers and drugs. That's almost
Oh.
all the time. And they usually are worse off after winning the lotto than
I
they
know they
were
go
What
broke.
is it?
before.
It's called it's
They
that whole
lose their
conspiracy thing.
families. They
It's
lose
the
their
bad
families
luck.
usually. They go get
Yeah.
divorces. The worst options of their life come to fruition because they won the lottery. Before the lottery, stable family, stable this, stable that, wife, girlfriend, love them, all this. After the lottery, kids just want money from them. Wife leaves them, wants half of her money. Everyone's off on their own, doing drugs, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's doing gambling. The worst part of society comes out.
So
So
money is the root of all evil. Is that what you're saying?
come on, man. I mean, of course it is. I didn't say it, you said it, but we all know that that's been the truth for forever.
Yeah.
Of course it is. The more options you have, the worse your character can exploit those options. Most of us
So you sit there.
are
Spicy, and you say, you know what? I love my wife, but all of a sudden, some 21-year-old, 22-year-old, they're all over you. They're all over you. Oh my God, you're so sexy. Again, there goes that illusion of options.
Huh?
All of a sudden, now it's this. Now it's like, why are you with her?
Okay.
You can have all this. So again, you're flooded with all these options. You're flooded with everything. You're flooded with, hey, you got a lot of money. You need somebody it's going to help you financially, take care of that. You never been in this kind of, never had this kind of money. Let me help you, for a small fee.
yes.
So what you're saying is you can either burn or you can drown. Those are your two choices.
You should be thankful for what you have and not be too aggressive to chase what you don't, because you don't know what you're going to get. I think that's life. I've seen it negatively affect people because they don't know what it's really like. If you woke up tomorrow and you were P. Diddy famous without the current situation, you don't know if that'd be a good or a bad thing. And most people would love to try it, but to live it is something else. It's a whole nother thing, because it seems good to, have all these people wanting a piece of you and wanting to be around you until you have, it starts to tear your life
Wrong
apart.
kind of people around you. Yeah.
Not even just that, it just tears your life apart, good or bad.
Yeah.
You just tear your life apart.
Yeah.
Wise words from our CIA handler and Illuminati sponsor. Thank you so much, man.
All right, guys, as we're starting to wind it down, we are going to end this with a little small segment of try to make Spicy cry.
Are we doing? I tried to talk long enough that we didn't have to do this. I don't want to do this.
No. So
what is this?
We're going to do? Huh? What?
What? Talk to me.
So we're going to put it up there. We're going to put some something on the screen there, and we're going to see. I want you to take these shades off, though. I'll tell you what.
These are welded.
Don't take them off. Don't take them off until the end.
See if I'm actually balling.
And I want to see. There's a tear.
You see me squirt some?
Josh, so you're going to watch. You're going to help me look at this guy and make sure.
Show me.
All right. So the first one here.
It's a good singer.
That's not Bretta is.
And guys, we are probably going to get muted for this segment, guys, but
Who cares? I want to hear it. I can't hear it. No.
Yeah, I don't know. We can't hear it. Maybe the stream can hear it.
There's no audio?
No, there's no audio on that.
Not for us.
Oh, okay. That's all right. I got it.
Jacob can't figure it out. I'm crying.
Right. No,
Mission accomplished, Jacob. Mission accomplished.
Hello.
You got it?
Hello.
All right.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
So while he's
Very
fast
well. So
forwarding
tell us who
through,
you are, where you're from.
My is still all right.
It's definitely not the same.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah.
Why on earth would you leave Hawaii?
Price out of paradise. That's what it is. Yo, price out of paradise, and
I get it.
gotta move to a cheaper state.
We're fixing to get you priced back in Hawaii.
Yeah. You're gonna go back
Any
in.
chance? Move back.
I think you should buy
Is
an
your
island.
family there, or where's your family?
Most of my mom's siblings, she has 12 siblings. I have family in Hawaii, but my mom, we all live in Seattle.
move
So
and
your
play the
dad?
song.
My dad passed away like a couple of months ago.
Okay. All right. His dad passed.
Sorry,
Okay,
buddy.
I'm sorry.
So
all right.
who got you into music?
My dad, he taught me.
He's
when I was
the
very
reason
young.
for all this, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's his name?
Rodney,
Rodney.
yeah.
I could tell he meant a lot to you. Yeah, I got it.
buddy.
I got it, man. What are you gonna do for us?
Song.
Take your time. Take your time. It's okay, man. You know, when you love so deeply, you feel so deeply.
Yeah.
And so what you're just giving us right now is the fact you love that man so much. Okay,
Yeah.
we're there with you.
The song we sing is a song. It's called "Monsters" by James Blunt.
Monsters, okay?
Yeah, it's a song dedicating to my dad.
All right. You want to take a moment? You all right?
Yeah. I'm good. Yeah, you gotta relax a little bit.
Who is she?
Oh, before they turn off all the lights, I won't read you your wrongs or your rights. Time is gone. Oh, I'll tell you goodnight, close the door. I'll tell you I love you once more. Time is gone, so here it is. I'm not your son, you're not my father. We're just two grown men saying goodbye. No need to forgive, no need to forget. I know your mistakes and you know mine. While you're sleeping, I try to make you proud. So
You're a bitch.
Daddy, won't you just close your eyes? Don't be afraid. It's my turn to chase the monsters away. Sleep a lifetime, yes, and breathe a last word. You can feel my hand on your own. 'Cause I'm not your son, you're not my father. We're just two grown men saying goodbye. No need to forgive, no need to forget. I know your mistakes and you know mine. While you're sleeping, I try to make you proud. So Daddy, won't you just close your eyes? Don't be afraid. It's my turn to chase the monsters away. Oh, sorry.
That's all right,
All right,
man.
stop it, you
That's
asshole.
all right.
You got me. You happy? Fuck, that was the one song and you fucking got me like that.
Oh,
You kissed my ass,
man,
dude.
Good job. Good job. That was a good one.
Wow.
The telling
Kiss
you,
my
dude.
ass.
Telling you.
I
Yeah, I've
couldn't
seen
make
that.
it through
That's a good one.
fucking the first 5 seconds of that. Oh, that was fucking amazing. Wow. Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Like Agents. I cried like fucking wow. Shit. Shut up.
Golly, but that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it, dude. Is that's the beauty of humanity. You know, all the negativity that we talk about today. You know what I'm saying? That moments like this, and there's people like this that can still feel.
Yep.
You know, is what keeps the small glimmer of hope alive. You know, that we are not completely doomed as a society.
Nah,
know-
man, we're good. We're humans. We'll survive.
I mean, Australia's doomed, but never mind. Continue.
Yeah, you know, that's different. We can saw that off. You know, in half.
Oh,
But
you're a
yeah,
dick,
man.
dude. You're so bad. I hate you so much.
Glad we kicked that, away from the rest of
Oh.
the world,
Oh,
Boy,
man,
did we-
before the show though? So I was like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not a crier. Dude.
I told
I'm
her that you can't.
hardcore.
Nah, ain't
I
gonna
grew up
happen.
on Def Leppard.
Wow.
I
Well,
walked in the
I'll tell you what
snow
it is.
to school.
Let me tell you what it is. The minute you personalize something like that, when you have that experience, because as soon as he was talked about them being grown men talking to each other, it hit.
I know, dude. Trust me, I know.
I see my son, talking to me when he's an adult, and hey, what's up, Dad? God damn it.
Get it, dude. I get it, dude.
Oh,
Trust
good
me.
segment, bro. You nailed this one.
I'll tell
This
you,
is
dude,
segment
I'll
of the
tell-
month. You got it. You win the
and-
muffin card.
You know,
Yeah,
and
good
it's
stuff,
just
good
like
stuff.
this one here, dude. You know what I'm saying? Just like this one.
Oh,
You know,
man.
this is a dad sees his daughter in a wedding dress for the first time.
Oh, I can't do that. No, I'll break down again.
God,
I think about that.
If you have a daughter, dude, and I have,
I do. I got my girl.
golly,
Oh.
man,
Yeah,
That's-
absolutely.
that's something.
Oh, when it comes to kids, man, all bets are off. When it comes to being a tough, I don't care who you are. You be the toughest dude in the world. You got kids.
Yeah, dude. But
All right,
like
let's
I
end this
said,
fucking thing, man. Before I
it's-
got to get a Kleenex.
As always, Josh, we appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Thanks, baby. We love you.
appreciate the
dude.
insight that you bring.
Yep.
You know,
Thank
with
you
the
for
unique
having me.
perspective that you have. You know, it's always a pleasure to have somebody who's well versed, and not just well versed, but overall, you know, knowledgeable on the topics that they bring to the table. You know, you're not just somebody on here just spitting off like Spice's headlines that he read up. You know, they're eating the dogs and the cats. You know, we're not just
I never
talking
said-
crazy. We're not talking. I'm not
Okay,
talking. I'm
I
not
kn-
saying. I'm saying.
No, for the
what you
record, I never said.
No, what you said was people like to read headlines.
Yes, I
That's
did.
what you said.
Hey, look,
That's
look.
what- that's
For
what
the
I'm
record,
referencing.
I appreciate
But that's
it.
what I'm
I
saying.
enjoyed
Those
being
people
on
that
the
read
show.
those headlines are the same people that say they're eating the dogs and the cats. You know. But yeah, that's what I meant to say. So I'm not saying you are that kind of person. I'm saying the people that you reference that read only headlines.
Hey, look, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I was happy to be on the show. It was a great time for me as well. I always enjoy watching
Thanks,
you
man.
guys.
We
So
love you.
being on the show was a privilege.
I
Thanks,
kept
man.
hoping the whole time that he would slide his head a little bit over, just enough to line that little hat, so it almost looked like a little hat was on his head.
Up, there you go.
Okay.
That's the
All right,
that's the
fellas.
photo we're taking to clip for the thumbnail.
I'm telling you, dude, that is the money. That is the money right
That's
there,
beautiful.
right?
All right, we got to
Yeah,
run, dude. It's getting late.
I'm telling you.